everybody. Welcome to the first class of the new year, except, for the New Year's Day class. This is the off-season training for the University of Minnesota Japanese Karate Club. I think today we're going to go over some test basics and try to get through some more kata. Probably we'll review some of the lower kata quickly, and we'll spend more time on more of the advanced kata, because I feel like I'm getting out of practice from doing some of the advanced kata. So anyway, I'm glad you're all here. Right? Pick up one foot, go around with your ankle and toes, switch other way, other foot, other way, feet together, around with your knees, other way, feet apart, around with your hips, other way. Use your legs, pump your arms around, switch, cross, twist, look behind you, take nice deep breaths. And stop, kick up your heels. Put one foot in front, swing your back leg up, hit your hands. One, swing, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch feet, kick a little harder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Feet apart a little bit, squat all the way down. Put your hands on the floor, straighten your legs, squat, straighten, squat, straighten, squat, straighten, and squat. Feet out behind you, and arch. Pushing back, touch your chest on the floor. Forward again. Pull your feet in, squatting. Feet apart, keep it arch. Stretching down and forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, reach over one shoulder, switch, side, switch, around with your torso, switch, and stop, straighten one leg, switch, switch, switch. Let's do a little hamstring stretching. Reach across and try to touch your foot. Reach as far as you can comfortably. Exhale and come back. Reach, back, reach, back, reach, back. A little further each time. Reach, back, reach, back, reach, back, and reach. Switch over the other side. Reach, back, reach, back, reach, back, reach, back, reach, back, and reach. Oh, let's see what I want to do. Drop down to one side this way. Switch, 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 and switch. One more time back. Rotate all the way over. Stretch the outside of your thigh. Back, over, back, over, back, over, and back. Switch over the other side. Rotate all the way over. Stretch the outside of your thigh. Breathe deep. Back, over, back, over, back, over, and back. Straighten one leg. Reach down with one side and touch your foot. Reach, back, reach, back, reach, back, reach, back, and reach. Switch to the other hand. Reach, back, reach, back, reach, back, and reach, back. Switch over the other side. Same arm, same leg. Reach, back, reach, back, reach, back, reach, back, and reach. Switch, other hand. Reach, back, reach, back, reach, back, reach, back, and reach. Back. Switch back this way. Stretching deep. Put your hands down alongside your leg. Try to make a straight line from your shoulders to your heel. Bend your arms, lay all the way down on the floor and come back up. 1, down, up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And switch away. Lay back down, or at least put your hands on the floor. All the way down to the floor and back up. 1, down and up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Feet in, squatting. Straighten your legs and stretch down. Roll up. Round with your hip. Switch. Side, side. Squeeze one knee up into your chest. Switch. 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 And switch. Reach around behind. Grab an ankle. Switch. 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 Shake out your legs. Turn, straighten uniforms. Minor technical difficulty here. All be fun. Huh, I feel like we're missing one or two that were here just a minute ago. But that's okay. Feet together, feet apart. Left hand out, right hand to your side. Pressure forward from your body towards the target. Just punching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out the arms again. Switch. Right, left leg forward, gain but I. Right. Counter punch out. Use your feet, twist your hip, jabbing face. 1, counter punching body. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Switch hands, switch feet, the other side. Nice, straight, tall posture. Again, use your feet. And when I say that, if my foot was off the ground, it's not, but if it was, I would push down through my center into my back foot, and that would make my hip move. It would go push, move, push, move, push, move. My foot's still on the floor, but I push with it. Push, push, push. This is different than you twisting your hip without the legs driving towards the target. So try to use your leg to drive into the target. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Switch feet, switch hands. Back to the other side. So everybody's doing pretty good on this. I mentioned it recently. When you rotate, don't let your knee, especially, rotate to the outside and then back again when you punch. I tend to think from my center or from my hip, it stays this way and rotates just kind of along that line. It doesn't wobble in and out. So that goes forward, that goes forward, that goes forward. It just rotates from your hip down to your foot. Don't let your knee pop in and out. Here we go. Left leg forward, counter punch out. 2 punches, 1 count. 1, head, stomach. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. With speed, key eye on the counter punch. Ready? Switch hands, switch feet, other side forward. Nice straight tall posture, settle into your legs. 2 punches, 1 count, head, stomach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kneel, put your shoulders down and relax. Everybody keep your head and chest up tall. It's difficult if you're looking down at the camera, but still keep your head and chest up tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 punches with ki. Ready? Look straight ahead, feet together, mouth, shake it out. Most of you have quite a bit of room. So we're going to try to do, say, 3 steps forward, 3 steps back. So back up to where you think you have room. Left leg forward. I'll be a mirror. Get him and I. Step and punch. Body. Oh, hold on a second. One, 2, 3. Stepping backwards, rising block. 1, twist. 2, 3. Maria. Not like that. Lift your hand a little higher. Yep. Stepping forward, sotuki, outside block. So this hand's going to coil, your body rotates. 1, twist. 2, 3. Moving backwards, inside block. Uchuke. 1, 2, 3. Moving forward, knife hand block, back stance. 1, 2, 3. Backwards. 1. Yufeng, bend your elbow more. More. 2, 3. Alright, wait for a second. This is a relatively minor point. Can you over here? Punch with your left hand. If you're going to use the knife hand block as a block, it is important that your elbow and hand be in line and that your elbow be inside your body frame. So when I get here, I'm blocking, and if I miscalculated, if he had punched a little higher, I'd be okay. If he punched a little lower, I'd be okay. It'd be coming off my forearm, but at least I'm covering a good-sized area. 2 problems that I saw. One is that your elbow starts to get out, which is fine if it's a strike. If I am striking down on the neck, my elbow belongs out. But if I am blocking this way, the problem is his punch will come past that block because this isn't very stable. And if I really try to whack it and I misjudged, he'll just come underneath it. I just cover very little of myself with this angle, and I cover a lot of myself with this angle. So it feels very stunted if you first learn it. You're like, oh, this can't be right, it's too little. But it's a good start. So the other problem that is similar is the idea that you're reaching out. So I'm thinking, his punch is coming, I'm going to block it, and I reach out there, and he hits me anyway. I don't have leverage to cover. If my timing's bad, I miss it. Not again that you wouldn't do this if I was striking. I wouldn't do this, punch that hand, if I was trying to stop him. That's fine, but it's not my basic knife hand block action. This is a bad muscle memory. I'm again too exposed in the body, too exposed in the head. So the fighting position I talked about before with your elbow and hand in line towards the face, it's kind of the same idea. If he punches with either hand, I should be able to cover it without moving much. But people, for some reason, they start thinking this is superior, and they're just leaving a big hole here and really cutting down on their ability to cover their face too. So strategically, there's another reason to try to reach out and touch somebody sooner, and that's not what we're doing right now. We're just practicing a basic action. So long talk for keep your elbow in and make 1 or 2 fist distances away from your body, not 5 fist distances, 1 or 2. And really, this inside block, outside block, knife hand block position is the same. It hasn't changed. You just think it's different in your head. And for that matter, if I switch this to a downward block, this hasn't changed, this hasn't changed. I changed my position, but your structure hasn't changed. So Yufeng right now, make sure your elbow's in. Yep. So, and James, you're a little hunched. Be tall. Yep, tall, proud. Here we go. We're going to do knife hand blocks again. Left leg forward, knife hand block back stance. Right? 5. Elbow inside. 1, 2, 3. Backwards. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Fighting position. Front snap kick moving forward. 1, 2, 3. You can turn. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. Turn. Washi give you a roundhouse kick. Please pick your knee up. Spin your hip. 1, 2, 3. Turn. 1, 2, 3. Keep it up. You're going to do side snaps. Yoko Keagi. And we don't do those a lot in our region anymore. People are worried about hip damage, which is probably a legitimate concern. But if you are going to do them, please do them as precisely as possible. So you're going to cross in front, trying to put your foot basically on the same line as your other foot. And when you drop your heel, your kick starts. It's on its way. So the deal here is your hip is going to tilt just a little bit, and your foot goes out and comes back. So we're talking stomach height, groin height, knee height. Don't try to hit the chin right now. And don't try to extend your hip towards the target. It just stays here and tilts. Okay? If anything, no, James, that was a bad example. If anything, I want you to turn your hips towards the target when you side snap, till that spot where it's easy to pick your leg up. in a side thrust, which we'll come to in a second, or the yoko kikomi. So in the side snap, you turn towards your target when you kick. In the side thrust, you turn your hip away from the target towards the floor when you kick. So two different things. That was excellent, Maria. So here we go, side snaps. Crossing over, we'll do 2 counts. 1, cross over, side snap, 2, snap. 1, cross over, 2. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Turn. High up for just a second. One more thing about crossing over. This shows up in other kata where you moving in kibidachi, but also in kata or kumite when you decide to pull one foot up and then move the other. So this is sugiyashi, ba, ba. You can do that. As opposed to yoriashi, where you move your front foot first. Both are fine. But what I want to point out about this crossover is I want you to maintain your structure, maintain your position, and fake yourself out. It's like, I'm just going to stand here, and my foot is going to cross without me moving, dragging, and then pulling. And then kick. And then moving, dragging, pulling. So that's one thing I don't want you to do. The other thing, Sensei Fusaro used to tell people they're walking, and he meant that. You're stepping over here, and then you're kicking. And then you step over here, and it's not quite that way. It's a little bit more like I'm here, oh, my foot moved. Oh, that's tricky, and then I kick. And without any commitment in direction or weight or anticipation. So sometimes people are like, okay, I'm gonna side kick, and they're already bent the wrong way, they're anticipating. This part doesn't even exist. Oh, just getting to here, so now you're in a comfortable position to kick. It'll help a lot of other stuff. So again, side snaps. I don't care what side. Crossing over. 1, 2, snap. 1, 2. 1, 2, turn. 1, cross, 2. 1, cross, 2. 1, cross, 2. I gotta say, everybody looked better on that. So Yufeng and Rachel, I saw you moving. You looked really good. I want you to move like that. So there are exercises that Sensei Nishiyama used to do where you stay in place and move your feet. You stay in place and you reach without moving your center. And they're all kind of related to the same thing. And it's this idea that I should be able to move any direction, any time, without completely switching my weight from one foot to the other foot. That I know it seems goofy, but I don't want to have to step forward by going, okay, and then I step forward and go. I want to be able to maintain my position and move my foot without a telegraph, without too much effort, and yet it will have intention. And it just happens to show up really well here. Bad one. Good one. Oh, that was cool. You just like you fake yourself out and you move. 1 count, side snap. Ready? 1. 2. Rachel, your butt's up just a little bit when you cross. 3. Turn to the way. 1, 2, 3. Turn it up. High rest. So Maria, what was exceptional there is you did not put your butt out. Good job. It is very common for people they think they're running out of room, and so they put their hip out so they can move their foot, so your structure breaks. And maybe it's not that big, maybe it's just this. Don't do that either. It stays in line, and you can move just fine. There are exceptions, let's say Heian Shodan type stuff. I can only go so far with my hips truly straight, and if I give it a little bit, I can go a little deeper. So you have to mess with it depending on what you're trying to do. Side thrust. We're going to do the side thrust two different ways. The first way will be crossing behind and stabbing somebody with your foot. So this is not how I learned it, but it is how they've been doing it in open systems forever. Is you're going to tilt your hip towards the target, cross over, and basically do a back thrust or something very close to it. So it has the example of the advantage of being relatively simple to learn and very easy to apply, like the first day you learn it. It has disadvantages in that it tends to limit people. If they learn to kick that way, I tend to see people hopping around and then they go, okay, and that's the only way they can kick. And you should be able to kick with either foot in any direction. And when we learn it the other way, instead of having to turn and then kick, I should be able to pick my leg up and thrust and have it drive straight in towards the target. So they're both good. But anyway, crossing behind. So you can put your left foot in front if you want. You're going to pivot your left foot towards the target as you cross. One, and then kick. Two. Keep striking with your heel. One, two. One, two. Great. Go back the other way. Turn. One, two. One, two. One, two. That's looking okay. I know that most of you know this. Can you hold this for a second? Your goal here, over here, so push it back into that table. And pull one foot and strong, so you're, just gonna put my foot here. You want to get to the point where your center, so this is true with almost all kicks. Here's my center. If I front kick, I want my center to be between my support foot and the target. When I side kick or back thrust, I want to drop so my center is between my foot and the target and I can drive into it. If I come up just a little bit, I'll bounce off when I hit. And you can hit really hard this way without knowing anything, just because you're stabbing somebody with your bone and your leg is heavy. But if you can understand how this squeezes into the floor, you can deliver way more shock and be stable for your next move, whatever it is, next kick, next recovery. So, thanks. Regardless of how you get there, crossing behind or in front, try to let this drop towards the floor. Don't try to lift it up and dissipate your drive. So side kicks again, one count, left leg forward, cross behind. One, two, three. Not bad. Turn. One, cross behind. Two, three. Not bad at all. Turn. High up. You can share your legs for just a second. All right. In crossing in front, the series that I do best is at 6 counts. And It is a little frustrating because it's so precise and it takes a while for most people to become comfortable with it. But I'll tell you the 6 counts. 1 is going to be crossing over, just like before. 2 is going to be coiling, kind of like a side snap. You're just here. On 3, you're going to pick your knee up higher, like it's on a string, and this part squeezes together more. On 4, you drop your weight and pivot. 5, you recoil with your knee back up. And then 6, you come down and you keep it up. See? 6 counts. So here we go. Keep it up. Crossing over. 1, that's the ball of your foot. You're going to drop your foot and coil. 2, this should be nice and stable. You're just making a base. Pick your knee up higher. 3, if you can do it without twisting your hip. 4, 5, 6. 6 is down. Crossing over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Crossing over. 1. Pick your knee up. 2. Pick it up higher and squeeze inside. 3. Good, Yufeng. 4. Thrust by pushing down. 5. 6. Yep, good job. We're going to do the other side, so back up or reposition wherever you want to go. Everybody did this part right, even though I didn't tell you. Especially while you're learning. Feel free to pivot your hip and support foot as far as it wants to go. So maybe I'm facing 90 degrees or straight this way. It's going to pivot way over there and then come back. So it'll help let your legs and hips move freely. So that's not a rule forever. It's a rule for learning and studying and getting it. So other leg in front, whichever one you weren't using. Crossover. 1, coil. 2, up higher. 3, 4, 5, 6. Crossover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Crossover. 1, 2. 2 is just the coil. 3, up higher. 4, thrust. 5, recoil. 6, down. And shake out your legs a little bit. So the side thrust this way was very difficult for me to learn. And what helped me, and helped me with all my kicks, is making sure that I'm letting the weight drop towards the floor all the time. So when I cross over, you don't come up, you drop. When you pick one leg up, you don't stand up, you drop your weight down. You pick it up higher, you drop more. You thrust, you drop more. You should be able to stay here for a while. Down, down. Most people forget that when they pivot, for instance. Everything was good till now, and now things go, and you're up and you're tight and you're teeter-tottery. Try to exhale and let it drop towards the floor. Back to the other side. Whichever foot you weren't using. Crossover. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up, out. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Other leg. One, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Maria, again, I gotta say, good mechanics, good try. You're doing all of the right things, so keep that up. This is a short story that I will tell you right now. Is as I was learning, different things were a struggle for me at different times. But what I noticed, if I went away and then came back to training, so I was gone a few weeks or a month or two for work or for whatever, I could still counterpunch, I could still do most things, but two things that really suffered were my back stance and my side thrust. They just got terrible. I couldn't do them at all. And there was a point, and I worked at it, but there was a point where I was a purple belt, and the instructor was teaching, and he had hurt his knee, so he could not demonstrate. So he was basically doing this 5 count, 6 count breakdown, and he was watching the group, which was a whole group of white belts, and me as a purple belt, so 5th cue. And I'm going 1, 2, 3, and he struggled so hard to do it. 4, 5, and he watched me, and he shook his head, and he picked a white belt to demonstrate the side thrust, which is horribly embarrassing for me. So I made a point of working at it till I understood it better. And so now, even if I don't do it a lot, I can still do the right mechanics and keep my balance and keep a good direction. I mean, it just became very important to me to learn how to do that, and that kind of spread out to my other techniques. So I'm saying that it's natural and normal sometimes to struggle with some stuff. It just takes a while. And if you are stubborn enough or determined enough to try to change and listen and learn and practice, you'll get way better at it. And quite often you'll get a better understanding than the person that could just do it on the first day. They can say, oh yeah, here's the thrust, boom. Okay, everybody thrust. And they won't be able to tell you how or how to change it. They just do it. They're fantastic demonstrators, often not such good teachers. So there's 2 examples. One is Shodan was teaching once to us as a group, and I'm going to teach my favorite technique, the side thrust. And his total instruction was, okay, pick up your foot and thrust. And that was his really thrust it out there. And he didn't have anything about twisting, turning, balance, mechanics, breathing, arms, nothing. He just kept telling you to thrust. And as far as he's concerned, that was the totality of the kick. And the other one was, we had an instructor who was extremely flexible, very, very good. He'd cross over and he'd thrust up at head height, over your head. Just lift it up there, it's easy. And I'd be like, no, if it was easy, I wouldn't be in this stupid class. So for him to keep telling you how easy it was, that didn't help me at the time. But what I will acknowledge is there's so many things I struggle with, and the side thrust was one, where I made it so hard. And if you quit trying so hard, it gets easier. I can tell you that. Many things are easier if you're a little more precise, but sometimes it takes a while to sink in about what's important and what's not. Back thrusts. You're just going to start in place a couple times. Bend your legs. You're going to stick your hip out and stab somebody with your foot, and then put it back. Change your mind. We're going to pick our knee up, so now we have to do 2 counts. 3 altogether. So pick your knee up in front like a front kick. 1, stick your hip back. 2, dropping into the floor. 3, recoil back. 4, down. Oh my God, it's 4 counts. Other foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, coil. 2, 3. All the way back, Maria. 4. 1, coil. Bend your legs more, kneel. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when I first saw this breakdown, I thought, what a tremendous waste of time. Why would I pick my foot up like this if I'm going to kick that way? And there's 2 answers to this. The first one is you wouldn't. This is a control point. So this is, hopefully you understand your front snap kick. So this is this base and this base supporting you. You use that to launch your kick to another point that you understand, and then you recoil back all the way to that position where you're in balance. So a few of you are doing this part okay, this part and this part not good. You're just coming back and standing here. I want you to go all the way back to this front kick position where you're compressed and sinking into the floor. So that was one answer, is it's for training and getting balance. The second answer has to do with the versatility of the kick. So there are lots of kicks that have a range. So front snap kick, it's got a great range. If he moves closer, I start to lose my ability to kick. If you're flexible and quick, you can still do it. You can compensate a little bit by having your butt out when you kick. That would still work. Less so with roundhouse kicks. If I have a target here I'm trying to hit, and he decides he's moving in towards me, I'll miss him. I don't have a lot of adjustment. My bones don't move that much. Some people have more. They're a little more flexible. But the back thrust is remarkable in that all the way down. You can be this close to somebody, no action space. You coil up and you hit, like we practiced. 1, 2, right? Into his knees, into his inner thigh, into his groin. You can be a little bit further away. You can still hit. You can be a little bit further away. You can still hit. You can be too far away to reach with a front kick, and you can easily hit it with a back thrust kick. It has a tremendous range from 0 to 3, 4 feet, 6 feet, long ways. So it's worth studying the breakdown that I showed you, even if you wouldn't use it that way most of the time. So sometimes they teach a progression, and it is to give you a solid foundation and an understanding of the kick so that you can apply it differently at different times. Sometimes they teach you a breakdown that they just learned and they don't know what it's for, and it's a waste of your time and their time. So most of that I've tried to eliminate. I don't teach stuff that I don't think will help you learn anything. So I don't know if you learned this, but in roundhouse kicks, I never, ever, ever teach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I never teach that because I don't think that represents the mechanics of the kick. It's the right path, but it's not even really the right muscles or the right dynamic. So I use a moving version of that. But another day. Anyway, back thrusts. Start in a stance. Let's move backwards again so you have room to do 3 feet. You're going to pick up your front foot, kick your heel to your butt, and thrust backwards and then step down. So moving backwards. 1, kick. 2, kick. 3. And either turn or shuffle back so you can do more kicks. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Turn again or shuffle back. A couple more like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, last breakdown on the spinning back thrust. It's going to be 4 counts, and we're not going to go beyond that. I think we'll just keep practicing that. The huge advantage, one huge advantage of the back thrust is the reach. Like I showed you, you can go way far. So if you're sparring, can you stand here for just a second? People think, don't move, that you're outside the range of most of these techniques, and you can spin and catch them, and they won't expect it. So surprise is a thing, right, that you can reach far. But the other part is the big long drive. So from here to there, driving your foot that whole distance is power, right, and getting your body mass moving. When people spin, because they're not comfortable with the spin, they wreck that long distance idea, and they go 1 and they kind of go to here, and then they go 2 and they got that little tiny kick left over. Where I want you to be able to start here and kick to there with that big long 6-foot range. Okay? So that's what this breakdown is for. So put your left leg in front in a front stance. On 1, you're going to pivot your heel towards the target and put your butt towards the target that way, but leave your foot back there. 1. Then you're going to coil this foot that now has no weight on it and thrust backwards. 2. Then you're going to pick your knee up and turn. 3, 4, down. Shuffle back or do the other foot. Spin on this foot, point it towards the target. 1, this foot's way back. Thrust. 2, pick your knee up. 3, 4, down. Shuffle back or give yourself room. Spin. 1, 2, 3, knee up. 4, down. Spin. 1, 2, 3, up, 4, down. Shuffle back. Spin and put all of your weight on your front leg. 1. Then you're gonna, no, James, your foot belongs way back there. It doesn't move. Still, and then you're gonna thrust. 2. Recoil up. 3, 4. So most of you get this pretty good, but I saw 2 things. When you get to the target that we talked about, I want your hip to drop towards the floor, and the muscle action is this way, and it drives. This squeezing. There's a big tendency, because you turn to get there, to let your hip keep going, and that's not a strong position to hit in. So please don't let your hip go too far. Eventually, so if you work at this a while, and you can get this sensation of your center sinking into your inner thigh, and your inner thighs guide you to the target, this feeling right here is very, very close to this. This feeling. Driving in, driving back. It's very similar. A little difference in your back, but not a lot. The muscle action feels very, very similar. Maybe direction is different. But if you are turning your hip, now you're not in that strong position anymore. You're just kind of standing there. You don't have this part to squeeze and push with. So a couple more of these. Left leg forward. Arms up. Spin and face your heel towards the target. 1. Thrust backwards. 2. Recoil up. 3. 4. Shuffle back. Or make room for the next one. Spin. 1. Thrust. 2. Pick your knee up. 3. 4. So Yufeng, when you recoil, try not to hunch this way so much. This is wrecking your, be a little straighter. Rachel, when you kick, keep your head and shoulders up just a little bit. So I'm not saying like this, but if you go past here, the balance starts to get really tough. There's no muscular structure to hold you. So that's part of why you're teetering, because you're bleeding forward a little bit too far. So another cool thing about this particular kick, if you wanted to, if you stand here for a second, if I wanted to spin and kick high, or if I was worried about getting hit in the head, you can totally drop your hands down here and hit. Use this for a base when you're driving into the target. You can do that, and another day we'll practice it. But there's a lot of cool options. So, and some of the kicks, the back thrusts that are hidden in kata, look like that. They go 1, 2, 3. Where was the kick? Right there. Bang, as you were dropping. It's in there. So anyway, a couple more kicks. Here you go. Left leg in front. Spin and point your heel towards the target. 1, 2, 3, knee up. 4. 1, spin your heel. 2, thrust. 3, knee up. 4. Not bad. Hey up. Hey, rest. All right. Do people have time to stay for a kata or two? That won't take long. Or do you have to go? Okay, everybody's good? Double step as much as you need to. We're going to start with Heian Shodan. It'll help get us in the motion mode. Feet together, bow, kata, Shodan. And Shodan. I'll be a mirror. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, knife hand block, back stance. 2. 1. Maria, drop your front hip. Yep. Kneel, bend your front arm. More even. Yep, I know that feels weird. 4. Last block. Yep. Rest. Tekki Shodan. There seems to be a lot of interest in Tekki Shodan lately. You be up there and face me and do it the normal way. So which way do you start? Okay, and I'll be a mirror. Tekki Shodan. We can both step this way. Wait. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Boy. Rest. Okay, I think we did 2 kata, that's enough. Any questions on anything we did or life in general? Huh? All right. Oh, wait. Malia has a question. Yes.
Question, Sensei, on the spinning back kick or the spinning back press kick.
Yep.
So for katas, I noticed that we don't necessarily look for our target, but for sparring
Well, here is the thing. You should, left leg forward over there, downward block. You're a step and punch from my head. Not yet. You should look so this doesn't happen. One, I got hit, right? So inherent in the movement should be one, oh my God, one. Why else would you go there, right? I feel there's some sort of threat. Your head should precede your hand by a little bit, just because your head's quicker. So there was actually this big debate in our system, region, and karate in general, of do you look first or do you move first? And the problem was people were looking first and then moving. And then they said, no, same time. So then they would move just as slowly, but they leave their head there and move it at the same time. That's wrong. You should look right away and move right away, but your head's going to beat your arm a little bit, just a little bit. Especially on these kind of things, where you're turning into something that you see. So I say in kata, you should be looking where you're going. It's a big indicator, and it is a influence on the power that you make, on the energy you can produce into the back thrust is a little more complicated, and I've told this story a little bit not too long ago. We were taught that, like a gymnast or some other, your body goes where your head goes. So obviously you would spin your head first and then kick. And the problem was that was a telegraph. People knew something was coming for the same reason. You don't wait and then go. You go when the opening's there. So then, for a short time, they decided you should look at the target the whole time and kick, and then look afterwards. And that was not good for your back. It's not good for you to look one way and kick the other way. It hurts after a while. Not that you could never do that, you totally could. So I asked a guy once who was really good at back thrusts. He used to practice with army boots on, and he'd move around like this, boom, and he'd kick, and he could hit like, 8, 9 times out of 10, and he scored so many points in tournaments with a back thrust. So I asked him, I said, do you look first? Do you look second? How does this work? He said, I don't even look. He said, if my foot doesn't hit the gi, then I missed. So what I got out of that is there's a target there, and he might move, right? Oh, I want that because he's committed to that. So when he starts to move, I kick, and hopefully I catch him. I want to see with the edge of my eye what I'm hitting, because occasionally somebody ducked or did something stupid, and you want to be able to stop your foot before it hits their head or their mouth or something. Or he was super tricky. He shifted this way and went that way, and I'm kicking in the air, and he's just going to nail me, right? So I need to know where he is. So I would recommend that you look with the edge of your eye, your peripheral vision, and your foot might hit the target before you see it, but you want some control over it. But rather than actually see it, it's more important to know where it is. And that's not unique to back thrusts, and this is a more complicated thing to teach because there's different issues, left leg in front, shifting side side. If I know he's going that way, I'll move over a little bit. There you go. There. I know he's going that way, and I start now. He's over there when I get there. So, I'll follow him. Ba, ba, oh no, now my technique doesn't have any effect. It's tracing. So, Sensei Nishiyama said, hit where he's going to be in a second. So, I know he's going to move there. I'm going to aim there. Now, boom, and get there right as he's about to get there is kind of what you want to do. So you would get there before the target's actually there. The hard part is if he's good at faking or if he knows what you're going to do, he'll set you up and then move the other way. He'll do something different. So it is a difficult thing, but try to look where you're going. That's a basic rule. Look where you're going. So Heian Shodan, look. 1, 2. Not that much delay, but look. Look. Whoa, boom. Your head's quicker than your body is. So this, you see this in tournaments and tests all the time. What good was that? You had no idea where you're going, why you turn, why you block. So, good question, though.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else have a question? All right, then we're out of here. Thank you all. See you again, hopefully, Wednesday. Is today Monday?
Yep.
Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.